Good evening there, YouTube fans. I know it's been a minute since I've made a video, and I do apologize about that. I've been a little bit busy trying to get my Class A CDL license. You'll give me a minute? Let's go ahead and get on with the video. In the past couple months, I've been driving for Prime, located in Springfield, Missouri. Good company helps you get your CDL. I've went from bread route bitching to the jobless dumbass. Now, I'm a Class A CDL holder, driving this big luxurious truck for New Prime Incorporated, like I said, located in Springfield, Missouri. Getting your CDL isn't as hard as it used to be anymore. We've got automatic trucks over manual trucks. Honestly, it ain't bad. A lot of people will say, well, hey, Mr. James, you ain't driving a real truck if you ain't got a manual. Plus, you're driving a Freightliner, for God's sakes. You ain't in a Peterbilt. Well, your truck is your preference. I like my truck. My truck does good on fuel mileage, and honestly, I can't ask for anything better, because that's one big expense about what we're about to go over. I started in January at the Prime Terminal located in Springfield, Missouri. I went through their schooling program through orientation to PSD to TNT. Let me go ahead and tell you. Orientation is a week-long process of you getting pretty much processed into the company. They're going through your medical records, checking everything, making sure you do not have sleep apnea. That's a process where you're snoring at night, and sometimes you stop breathing at night. That means you're not getting the right amount of sleep. That is a very big problem for most truck drivers nowadays. After orientation, you go into a process what's called PSD, which is Prime Student Driver. The Prime Student Driver phase can go one of two ways after you get a trainer. You can either be a pad baby, like I was, which is being trained on the pad, learning all your backing up sequences and whatnot. Or you can go over the road. Over the road is about 2 weeks long. You'll go out there with a trainer and they'll show you what's what. Let me go ahead and tell you, there is a lot of differences between being trained on the pad and being go over the road. I'm honestly happy that I was trained on the pad, because I had a lot more focus on backing up other than driving. Any idiot can hold the steering wheel and make a truck go the way it's supposed to go. But there falls the problem. Not everybody can back up these long trucks. 53-foot trailer, about a quarter of that is a tractor. Honestly, that's a lot of room. So sometimes you ain't got the real estate to back that big old rig in where you need to go. So let me go ahead and tell you, let's get on with the video. After PSD, you'll go into what's called TNT. TNT is a phase that is trainer and trainee. You'll do what used to be 30,000 miles is now 50,000 miles. That may seem like a lot of miles. Do not let that scare you. That is a lot of miles. But you'll be thankful for that in the end, because you'll be more of a proficient driver to be out on the road carrying these long haul loads across the U.S. and making the good money that you need to support yourself and your family and your way of life. America. Having said that, let's go ahead and get on with the good stuff. There's company drivers, lease drivers, and owner operators. As of right now, I'm a lease driver. I came in as a company driver. As a company driver, you make something called CPM, cents per mile. That means you're getting paid a certain amount of percentage of cents per mile, which usually with Prime, for condo drivers, big trucks, top bunk, bottom bunk, lots of good storage space, you're normally making 43 cents a mile. Lightweight truck drivers, which is one bunk, 2 cabinets above it, and a little bit less room that you'd actually want, you're making 47 to 48 cents a mile. Now as a lease driver, that's a totally different aspect, where company drivers get paid flat rates, cents per mile, plus they get their taxes taken out, Lease driving is a totally different beast. As a lease driver, you are a company owner. My company is Triforce Transportation. I labeled that after a game that I hold very dear to my heart that helped me raise as a kid, The Legend of Zelda. If you ain't played it, you probably should. Damn good game. As a kid, I played The Legend of Zelda while I wasn't helping my grandfather up in the shop, or I was helping my grandmother down in the house. I was back there either playing on the N64 or the GameCube. Legend of Zelda. Damn good game. Having said that, let me go ahead and tell you about the lease side. The lease side, you're making a truck payment, your fixed expenses, which is usually tax, permits, anything of the sort. Then you got your fuel. Your fuel is probably going to be the biggest expense out here, depending on how heavy your foot is. The secret behind that is I keep my truck around 60 miles an hour. 60 miles an hour usually is my sweet spot. Not going too fast, so I'm able to brake when I need to. And on top of that, I save my MPG. Let me go ahead and tell you, that's not all there is to it. Being a company owner, or a business owner more or less, you're taking your own taxes out. So yeah, your checks that you're bringing home are anywhere from $15,000 to $3,000 a week. But just remember, depending on your state and your federal tax withdrawals, depending on if you're single, married, have any dependents, head of household, anything of the sort, you might want to decide on how much you're going to take out for taxes. As a single man, I take out 30%. 30% is right there at the minimum of what I need to be taking out. I have a certain bank account that's straight for my business. Then I have my personal bank account, which I pay myself into. After all is said and done, you're out here over the road for quite some time before you're ever able to go home. So you might want to talk this over with your loved ones before you make this pretty drastic decision. You'll make some good money, you'll meet some good folks, you'll see some beautiful sights. But most of the time, it usually falls down to the person that wanting their CDL. Maybe over the road ain't for you. Maybe you just need to get your CDL and become a local, regional, or a dedicated route driver. I'm over the road because I am divorced, no kids, really ain't got nothing else to do. Do I miss my family? I miss them all the time, love them to death. But I need to do what's best for me. I gotta make my money. I gotta build my future. That's what I think that we, as Americans, have actually forgot here recently, is what's best for us. There's a lot more hate in the world and less common sense. It's sad to say that, America. It really is. Still love this country. As a prior service member myself, honestly, I can say that I'm pretty sad about it. But it's the world we live in, and sometimes you just got to toughen up, you got to deal with it. Nonetheless, so far that's what I can tell you about truck driving. You might want to do your research, definitely study up on it if you're going to take the test. And if you are going to take the test and you decide to come to Prime, come shake my hand. Because honestly, we need more drivers out here. We need a lot of good folks out here. Too many people with hateful hearts and less minds. It's time that we start loving one another, America. Come back out here and help us make the good money, fight the good fight. Y'all stay free, America.